Let me tell you about Quint White. When I first got here, I knew he was a capable administrator. I knew he was a good faculty member because the students just really, really liked the guy, and he has quite a following. So I knew all those things. What I didn't realize is what an amazing resource he was nationally and regionally in terms of his knowledge of marine science, marine biology.
He's a great guy to work with. We came from similar backgrounds. We both got our PhDs at the University of South Carolina. He got his master's at the University of Virginia, which is where I got my bachelor's degree. So we have similar interests. We have similar love of the environment.
He's a person that has a very good talent at looking at the big picture, you know, of not just the career, but also life. You know, that's something that we all aspire to. So I continue to respect him with respect to that.
When I arrived as president, one of the first people I met was Quint White. And of course, he was the dean of arts and sciences at that time. And one of the things he wanted to talk to me about was his dream. I mean, that's one of the early things we talked about. And that was to create a marine science research institute, a center for marine science down on the river. And I will tell you that that fit in so well with a question I was asking when I arrived, and that was, we have this incredible campus right on the river, and yet we don't take any advantage of it. Why aren't we doing things more down by the river?
Well, you know, we've been talking about the St. Johns River being our greatest asset for so many years, but Quinton White has really taken that theme and actually acted on it. He is, I would say, almost totally responsible for the vision to create this center that allows us to focus as a community on how to make this river a healthier body of water.
The idea has been knocking around for a long time. Paul Tipton was president when we first started the real serious move towards this. But every president since then has embraced it, but nobody quite like Kerry Ronsberg, who's really said, all right, let's go do it.
It took me no problem to embrace what he wanted to do and to tell him, okay, you know, let's make this happen.
The president came to me and said, you've kept talking about this new idea of building a Marine Science Research Institute. I think if we're going to do it, you need to go do it. Do you want to do it? And
it didn't take me very long to figure out, you know, the person we want is right here. It's Quint.
I said yes. So 3 years ago I started doing this job, and now we've built the building and we're moving in and things are moving forward.
And finally he said, you know what, you're right. This is my dream. I'll do it. That's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my career, was to talk him into doing this, because he's the one that thought of it. He's the one that's going to make this thing work, and he's known. He's the real deal.
I think he's like a kid in a candy shop. Every time he shows somebody through the building, you can hear the excitement in his voice. I would like to see the last bit of funding raised so he doesn't have to work quite so hard at that, and he can enjoy the building and the students and the research and not have to worry so much about, you know, raising the money to buy that last bit of equipment.
I don't think the MSRI would exist if it weren't for Quint. It was Quint's idea, it was Quint's design, and I will tell you, he has been absolutely instrumental in the fundraising.
I've had a philosophy for a long time. Henry Adams made a comment years ago that a teacher affects eternity. You know not where your influence stops. And I think that's the piece that I've enjoyed about education. I'm back in the classroom this year and enjoying a great deal. I've got a great Marine Science 101 class, Intro Marine Science. It brings back some old memories, trying to remember how to explain some things sometimes.
He provided a lot of life's advice that I think about and pass on to this day.
When you explain something and somebody gets it and you almost see them understand it, there's a huge amount of satisfaction in thinking, okay, I just made a difference. I understand something they didn't understand before.
Well, you know, he's done a lot of work to make this happen, so I think all the glory that goes with that he deserves, because lots of people can have dreams for something like this to happen, but few people are able to have the ability to make those dreams happen.
The morning they had finished putting up the second floor, and it was such an exhilarating feeling to realize that this building was coming to fruition. I climbed a ladder and walked out to the end of the building and looked at the river, and it took my breath away.
what I hope we see from Quint with now this phase done is not only the satisfaction of knowing he has accomplished something that none of us thought may have been possible. Have that satisfaction, love what you've accomplished, but then look to the future, and he does. I mean, the man is a man of vision. Look to the future. Okay, we've got this. Let's make it successful, unbelievably successful, and then let's see what we can do next. And believe me, if I know Dr. White, and I believe I do, that's what he's going to do. Quint White is the Marine Science Research Institute. They're one and the same. They're inseparable, and no, I don't believe we could have. We would not have it today were it not for Quint. There's no question in my mind.
I'm appreciative for Quint White's vision. We're lucky that he has the vision and the passion to make this happen, and I think this is just the beginning of the learning that's going to occur that's going to allow this river to be even better down the road.
The great thing is, this is the beginning. This is just the beginning. Now, with our faculty and with the leadership that Dr. White brings, now let's show people what we can do.